You know, I was confident I was gonna dodge that, and I did.
There you go.
Hey,
community, we're live, and we are 1-2
Comic Talk, and we're back. We're trying to get this all kind of sorted. We want to see if it was working, and to our surprise, it actually is.
Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. Hey, thanks for the recommendation.
Hey, make sure you pause that.
Pause, which one?
The preview.
Right here?
Yep.
But now it's not playing at all, right?
No, it is. It's just, it's not previewing it to us anymore.
So we can't see what's going on.
No, but it saves processing power.
Cool. Hey, as opposed to watching us bicker. Whoops. Hey, we can do this, right? That'll do it for us. We can still do the same thing.
Yeah.
Hello, community. And then we make this bigger. And that makes everything better.
Bigger is in fact better.
The problem is now we can't see who's talking to us if they are in fact talking to us.
Look on your phone. That's what people do. They have second monitors, but you can use your phone.
See what happens when you're my age? So community, we appreciate you hanging out with us. It was a pretty good day today. Starting with last night. We ended up streaming last night. We ended up talking about some of the books that we haven't got to read yet.
Yeah.
And some of the books that we did. I know that there's a lot right here. I have 3 store folios to the left of me right here that I've yet to actually get to. 1.5 of which I know is full of stuff that I need to actually go through. I'm dying to go through this stuff. And aside from that, we got to go to Brave New World. What was that, this afternoon?
Yep. Caught off its tail.
And we had to give up our tickets, our raffle tickets. They had rad giveaways at Brave New World in Santa Clarita.
Which we unfortunately had to miss.
Yeah, I'm hoping, you know what would be kind of cool though, is if someone actually did win off our thing.
Yeah.
I think actually that would be kind of cool. Want some popcorn?
I'm good. I'm trying to kill this thing.
I'll give you the one on the floor.
Ooh!
So, we hope that you, community, are having a good holiday. I know we are. I'm not working.
Oh, congratulations.
You're not schooling.
I'm not schooling.
I'm not for a little while then.
Yep.
So, how about we talk about what we ended up doing this morning?
We went to Brave New World.
Well, I ended up this morning. I actually woke up rather late. Because why?
We stayed up late last night.
Doing what you're doing now. So thanks, Grayman, for the recommendation. Grayman made a request that he wanted to actually see what Kai was playing. And I think it's working out rather well. It's processing good. Seems like it's all good. Seems cool to me.
Ooh, mounted it.
And we woke up, God, what was that? After 10. And went to our diner, had our breakfast.
Like we usually do before we head out to, well, most of the time it's been Brave New World.
I had a check the deposit. You and I drove out to, I almost kind of look forward to when you get your license. That way you can start driving me out to these places.
Ooh, it ran itself into a spike.
Drive out to San Clarita. And who did we meet there?
We met David Barron.
Yes, we did. Now, you may know him from works of mostly DC stuff. So, for him to do this work that's behind us, which is actually rather cool. Can I show him, Kai?
Yeah.
What you may notice is this is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle exclusive to Brave New World. Now, yeah, as many places have store exclusives. What I like about what Brave New World does, every time they do a store exclusive, they don't just release a store exclusive, but they always have the artists end up doing a signing there. Now, I've been here along with Kai on a few of their signings. What I really like about this one is, my understanding is this is a piece that Kevin had worked on and never released. And I do believe... Yeah, see, it has an Eastman right there, 14. Yeah, and I do believe that what it was done was, I think it was reworked. by David.
Oh.
And that's what we're seeing here is this exclusive done for Brave New World. Now, what also Brave New World many times will do is they also ask the artists if they wouldn't mind doing some sketching in the past. And this is Kai's, and he asked for who?
Raphael?
Yeah, he did.
Or Raphael.
Yep. So this is the sketch piece that Kai got done for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 100 Sword exclusive Brave New World.
Oh my god, I'm smacking this thing.
Yeah, it says right there, covered by Kevin Eastman and David Barron. And I'm flipping jealous, dude. This thing's badass. So I haven't even asked. Are you thinking about getting this one slabbed or? You know what we can do is we could try to see if we can get Kevin to sign it too.
Okay.
Have Kevin sign the front.
Then I want it slabbed.
And then yeah, because as it looks, I think I can pay off.
No way! Oh my god, Dad! I missed the biggest slash of the combo, but it literally ran away from it, but then it came back just in time before the sword landed to actually count as getting hit by it.
Whoa, whoa.
That was funny.
That was awesome.
It ran itself in. Alright, I'm trying to get around it. I'm trying to bust its right leg, or its left leg.
So we got to Brave New World at around, man, it must have been about 1:15. And the cool thing was, there weren't a whole lot of people there.
Which one?
Hey, comments on the mime. What's up, comic peeps? Yeah, well, he's playing his game, and as I mentioned earlier, Grayman made mention that he wanted to see what Kai was playing while we were talking about comics. I thought it was a brilliant idea. I don't know why
we put it into effect.
We've been slowly trying to build up our
damn it,
our ability to, you know, put on the show that I think the community wants to see.
We just want to always be improving, you know.
Exactly, and put on the show that we believe that we can do, and then what we do. So, yeah, we got to go to 21 more to 100 subs. Whoop whoop! Yeah, exactly. You know, I actually made a couple of deals. Oh, by the way, Reek and Rod asked us to be on the show. I sent an email to him. Hopefully he'll allow us to do a show with him on February 16th. So hopefully we'll put together something with him and look for us then.
I just need to go for it.
We are still, as we said, developing this stuff. So we're trying to get all this together. We've been having dropouts on mics. And we kind of come to the conclusion what we're probably going to end up having to do is probably get something made for what we're doing. As far as computer, buying maybe more mics, more cameras, so forth. So I kind of made a deal that when we get a certain amount of subs, we'll elevate to this level. A certain amount of subs, we'll elevate to that level. I was telling Kai that I have some kind of embarrassing but self-developing stories that I would be willing to share with the community, only after which we receive a certain amount of subs, and in those subs I know we receive support. So I'm just looking to, if I go ahead and I guess show a little vulnerability to the community, and I'm showing it to the right people that wouldn't be ripping me apart so they can hear a cool story. So I have some stories of like me meeting certain artists at young age, and how I first started collecting, things like that I'm not necessarily willing to divulge quite yet. Only until we have a certain amount of people, and I'd kind of like to do that on a show where we were on with multiple people. So I guess so they're all there, kind of, you know, maybe saying in real time how they kind of relate, so I'm not feeling so alienated about. I guess you get it. Anyway, so now I'm not sitting there divulging my psychological issues. Let's talk some comics. Kai and I, as you see, we end up getting this done. As far as picking up this book, I have a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle 100. Actually, I have 2 of those books coming. One of which I believe is a Raphael cover.
Right.
I'm going to give to your buddy Sam. So Sam, if you're seeing this, which I bet you're not because you haven't been watching our stuff, we got a gift coming in and I already said what it is. Being that you're not watching, you don't know. However, what I do want to take out, now there's some of these books I haven't even showed, is one, I have to remove this price tag so the wife doesn't see it.
What does it say?
Well, it says $572.
I bet it does.
But it's not true. And we'll just put that right there. There we go. That's what we paid for him. So
I broke its right leg.
You're killing it.
Yeah, I broke its head. I severed its tail. I broke its right leg. This thing's not.
But at Brave New World, what they'll also do is they'll do some limited prints, and we got this one also signed by David Barron. And you'll see what this is, the colored variant of what's back there. Because what was originally released is more true to what's behind me than what I'm showing you. It was actually, my understanding, I think it was black and white. Or the original releasing of this. And I think it was originally supposed to be for another issue, like 53? I'm not certain. However, got that.
You know, Dad, I have to kill this thing.
Comics on the Mind is more interested in you.
Oh, shoot.
He's watching the epic battle.
Oh, yes, I flashed it.
Yeah, he's been playing this. It's not infrequent that I catch him up way too late at night playing this thing, yelling, screaming, and I really don't have a whole lot to stand on when I'm yelling at. Anyways, this is a book that Kai picked out, and because of which, he's probably gonna have to get the whole set. You know, you do realize that you're gonna have to.
No, wait. Oh my god.
You realize also you could have picked up 6, 7.
I read it all online already.
Did you?
I did. And I do have to say, So
that no, we definitely do have to buy it just so we can actually, justify the reading of what he did, because we don't believe in piracy. We actually buy our stuff. But this is a rad cover.
I encourage you to read it. Apparently, it's only a mini series, and there's a whole thing behind Batman Who Laughs. But that mini series is definitely interesting.
Well, it was because of that success of that storyline that, I mean, you see all this new stuff that's going on. Everyone's laughing nowadays. Shazam, Supergirl. I mean, it's pretty contagious. It's almost kind of like in the Marvel thing. Everyone's getting a symbiote. Everyone's laughing like. I call it the Oprah Winfrey effect, because everyone gets something. So in DC, everyone's laughing, and in Marvel, everyone's getting a symbiote.
Well,
you got to respond.
Okay, let's see. All right, I'm gonna read everything Comics on the Mind has been saying. Sup, comic peeps, Dad and Son dynamic duo Eastman. That would be awesome.
Yeah, he lives around 21, south of us.
He told us 21 more to 100 subs. Woo-hoo.
Yeah, we're so close.
Sweet, just picked up my poll today. Actually, approximates purpose. Need to stream more myself too. Sweet, he's gonna be on with Rod tomorrow.
Oh, you are? Okay, we'll be watching. We'll definitely be watching. No, this is not an original. This is this facsimile. I can't afford the original. I am still keeping my eye out for a good deal, and being that the family's been getting more and more guilty, and they can find less and less of things to purchase for me, I'm looking at more and more real Grail stuff. So you never know. Things like this could come true in real life, right?
Okay. Back on to what he was saying. His internet signal, he says, where he is crap. He needs better equipment himself. Don't be embarrassed. I love this community. It's so supportive.
It is. I agree. I've been doing martial arts for 25 years, and outside of that, this comic community is the strongest thing I've encountered. So I agree.
He wants to know if we're gonna. Huh?
I keep interrupting.
We need to. He wants to know if we're gonna go to any cons for 2020.
Oh God, yeah. He's already picked up. Can I make mention of what he already got?
I already have my Anime Expo 2020 ticket to go all 4 days.
Yeah, my wife, or let me start over. Cindy, the one I married and wife of mine, not belonging to in the sense of that, but you understand what I'm saying. Anyways, she had made purchase of his tickets. I never know in this time. When I mean that time of year, where I'm going to be. I work in entertainment, and it's hard for me to know schedules in advance. The last show that I did that I had to sign an NDA for, that dropped in my lap 4 days before I ended up doing it. I had little time to prep, and even less time to actually realize what had happened after it happened. I can't even, like I said, I can't talk about it. On our last show, I threw hints, but what I'm getting at is because of that time of the year, I never know what's happening, and it's hard for me to make plans. So I'm hoping I can make a day or two. I know it's pretty hardcore. We went to LA Comic Con. We did Long Beach Comic Con. I have a belief that we'll be able to do that again. Any and all events that are done here in Southern California, as far as all the local comic shops, we try to hit those. For instance, we may mention that we're going to hopefully be on the, what did I say, the 24th? 24th of January at Torpedo Comics. Will be Jim Lee and Donnie Cates doing a signing. So we have hopes to be there. If you see Kai and or I at any event, anywhere, we don't care if it's in a comic shop, even looking at a book, what do they do, Kai?
Just call us out. You get a free shirt. And there's more to that. How about you expand now?
Well, identify us by saying 1-2 Comic Talk. You do that, we'll throw a shirt at you. If we don't have a shirt for you, or if we run out of shirts, we'll buy you ice cream. There's ice cream everywhere. Everyone loves ice cream. If we don't have the budget, or we run out of, how should I say, resources to actually get you some ice cream, we'll throw a shout out to you on our show.
Right.
That's what we do. We don't have any Patreon thing. We're not asking for anything. This is a father and son hanging out on the couch doing a show.
And there's not much more to it than that.
Not really.
Someone's home.
Mother-in-law's home. And so we're still doing our thing. We're playing video games. I'm going to be doing some reading pretty soon. This is one of 3 store folios that we have that we're full. I don't know if you've been reading the J.J. Abrams Spider-Man. I love this variant. And on certain books like this, I always buy 2. I end up buying a reading version.
Hey, I'll be right back, but quickly I want to get through what Comics on the Mind has been saying. So back to what he's saying. He said he's more of an RPG dude. He definitely wants to play the Final Fantasy remake. He says no to me losing the mission. I died like a noob the first couple times and only really tried on the last one, so that's my fault. He has the reprint and 3rd issue variant. He loves the whole Infected series. Look under your chairs. Is that the reprint? Beat me to the punch. He loves the run. He has the 2nd run except issue 1.
Oh, okay.
Nice. He loves he says nice to me going to Anime Expo. He says he loves anime and he's an old otaku. He used to cosplay 4 times. NDA? What's NDA?
NDA is a non-disclosed agreement. It means that everything that I see, everything that I work on, everything that I have knowledge about, I am not allowed to disclose to the public because Well, obviously, it's like releasing information about a movie or a comic book, or in this case, as Kai's playing a video game or whatever. Because I work in entertainment, I frequently am working in things that I can't say what I'm working on. And the last two main events at the Shrine Auditorium is one of the houses that I'm the head audio there. Please don't hold that against me, like I actually know what I'm supposed to be doing when I talk in audio. So, or video, being that I run the video department also. Because I'm bound by legalities, I'm not allowed to talk about certain things. Other than like last night. Last night was my final night of working for the year, which I worked on Funniest Home Videos, which I've been doing since 1989.
Wow.
So you know what I mean. You got to start out on a startup. Yeah. So and especially nowadays, because of how much everything is so entertainment centric. I'm finding that it's another reason why people are kind of jumping back into the comic book industry like they did in the late 80s and early 90s. Is they're seeing that there's so much content here that can be utilized in movies, games, shows, and so forth.
So he says he had to sign one for a startup. He was helping out.
Yeah, I assume that you were helping out, maybe being a PA or maybe a stagehand or something. It's frequent that anyone involved in anything. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're a truck driver to picking up trash or if you're the actual director. You are not allowed to say certain things because the producer will be jumping all over you. And then you got backers and financiers that if they end up finding out that you disclose certain things because they had intent of maybe marketing something, the Baby Yoda or whatever, everything is so monetized that if you're not able to properly launch things at certain incremental time periods, that it's kind of like building a house on no foundation.
He says he grew up. He said he grew up watching that show.
Oh yeah. I'm 50. In that time period, our present host, his name is Alonso Rivera. Okay, and during that time, he was doing a show called Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Coincidentally, I actually ended up working the last show of season, I believe it was 91, and it might have been 92, of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He did continue, don't get me wrong. That was just the last show of that season to continue to do the show. The only reason why I bring it up is I'm presently working with him again. I also worked with Tom Bergeron for now I think this is Alonso's 6th season, so it'd be his 5th year. And then I worked with Tom for 10 years before that. And then
Oh, Z's here. What's up, Z?
Hey, Z Collects, congratulations on your on hooking up. I saw that you won on Rodriguez's show. Congratulations. It was you, right?
Z, today we are playing Monster Hunter World.
So, yeah, I'll just give you a little background. I didn't mean to go off. Let me throw some more comics up there. It is my intent to go ahead and do some more reviews. I keep picking this book up, and for some reason, I keep putting it right back down. I've yet to read it. Don't get me wrong. I'm loving this Ghost Rider story. I also befriended Bryson online. He lives up there in the Canucky area, the Canadian area. And he's not only a really funny guy, but he's living a cool life, man. He has moose coming up to his house, and all he does is write and look out the window, and he's having a good time. Jumping back onto the comic, the story that he's doing in this new Ghost Rider, I'm digging. I've always been a Ghost Rider fan. To me, this is bringing back a lot of that feel of some of the late 70s Ghost Rider that I used to get, and I'm digging this. I'm digging this series. It's through no fault of anyone other than my own that I haven't been able to actually read this. I picked it up late last night. Okay, we start over. I picked it up at about 1:15 this morning to try to read, and went, what am I doing? I'm not going to enjoy this. I want to savor it. So
Oh my god, this thing is massive. So, fun fact, you'll always encounter monsters of varying sizes, even if it's of the same species. This thing is huge. I've never seen one this massive. Well,
what is that one movie where each level of monsters is level 5 and the Pacific Rim?
Oh, the kaijus.
Yeah, so you hit a kaiju level 5.
Well, they all do the same amount of damage. It's just they'll be varying sizes. Sometimes they'll be super small. Sometimes they'll be super huge. It doesn't really change anything. But if you find one that's extremely huge or extremely small, you'll get a gold crown for finding like a rare species.
Comics on the Mind. You know what? I've not really pursued some of the really earlier. Ghost Rider, where I started was on issue 27, and if I recall, it's the first appearance of Hawkeye in a Ghost Rider book.
Why would Hawkeye be in a Ghost Rider book?
Well, you know, they always do all these crossovers, and Marvel's Marvel.
Okay, true.
So I have yet to get that claimed. I believe that's a Shooter book too. So I know Jim Shooter's going to be at a... Oh, you were asking about this earlier, Comics on the Mind. At a con that's happening in Ontario in...
I suck at this game.
I think it's late February? It might be in March. Speaking of which, March is going to be a heavy month. So as far as cons happening, some of the smaller ones, and books coming out, March is not only going to be a heavy month as far as purchasing for books, but it's going to be a big month as far as pinnacle aspects, especially definitely in the Marvel. I'm actually seeing on the Independent, if you read the Kanto stuff, March is when, one, I believe the trade paperback for Kanto comes out, and two, that one shot comes out for Kanto, that fairies thing that we
the something of the Clockwork Fairies.
Right. God, great. Dude, you're the man.
Well, it's something. I don't...
So that's something to look for.
Flinch.
When it comes to March. I just want you guys to be aware.
Alright, let's do some, another comment check. Let's see what Comics on the Mind is saying. How about you read it off for me?
Let's start up at the top. We got, from right now, we still got 2 people watching, and we got Comics on the Mind and Z Collects, and he was asking what you were playing at 422, and you had made mention. He's playing
Monster Hunter World.
And Comics on the Mind, didn't you win the giveaway? Rod did, and my video feed still buffering.
That might be just...
Congrats. So yeah, he did. He ended up went on Zelos Comics, sent him Instagram message. He didn't even know he won. Now that's funny because that's been happening a lot. I'm gonna take this moment. Hold on. I have to seize this moment because I'm gonna space out if I don't. Again, we were talking about how this community is so strong and so giving. There's a lot of people that have not noticed that they either won something or because people are receiving these packages that they didn't order. I'm watching all these channels and people are like, what is this? Oh, da-da-da sent me some. And these huge bricks, gifts of books and just memorabilia are arriving at people's doorsteps. And it's so awesome. You guys as a community are incredible. And it just constantly amazes me how awesome you guys are. Zelos and while he was at work, and then he was saying that he still needs to read the full run of the Batman Elapsing first issue. There was congratulating on Z. You ever play Shadow of Colossus?
I know about it. I haven't played it, but I definitely know about it. I've watched an entire playthrough of it. I think it's really cool. So this thing is so massive that its tail sits up so high that I can barely hit it with my greatsword. So it's actually genuinely making it harder to hit the tail.
You need to try to get up on higher ground. Oh, no, you mount. There you go.
Yeah, I mounted it.
Oh, and Kanto, you again, if you haven't got, I know some, depending on where you're at, some shops still have some of the stuff, but if you can wait, just wait for the trade. Matter of fact, my mother-in-law that's standing up to the left right now, watching my son play the game. Or she was. Oh, there she is. That's one of the things I'm actually gonna buy her for. I guess a gift just for me to give to her. That's beat for nothing. It's because I really want her to enjoy the story, and it's such a beautiful tale, you know, and that's why when I first was reading this thing, I was thinking to myself, this is kind of sad that initially, as we were talking to David, he was only thinking of it as a 6-issue run, really wasn't thinking it was going to be anything more than that, or if people would even, you know, he already had everything in the can, if people were even going to want to buy all 6 issues. Now the success of the story has been that, you know, it's they're clamoring for more. So he's already doing a one-shot. He's already working on the next volume to the story of this little guy, and I'm looking forward to these tales. It's beautiful stories. Recommend it. You got to get Kanto. We are also very, I guess, biased.
So
Who else is
Comics
here?
on the Mind is very curious as to why this big beast is still alive. Well, I didn't really kill it last time, and I'm fighting a whole different one, and I'm about to eat this jerky and get all that health back.
Yeah, it's. I've noticed that this game there's a lot of battle of attrition, more than almost anything else. Bye, Nan.
So, including that I didn't kill it last time, again, this is a whole different. It's the same kind of monster, but a different monster. If that kind of makes sense. So, I'm trying to kill this one. And it's very, very, very big. I'd be surprised if I don't get a gold crown for finding one this big. Because most of the time, Rathians are small. Rathalos, on the other hand, those are some big boys.
I don't know if anyone out there is reading the Ghost Spider. I'm one of those people that I really like it. I know that there are people out there that are buying books like
No.
Black Cat and Ghost Spider purely just for the covers. I'm not that guy. I'm really actually liking the stories.
Hey, Mindshift mentioned this on his story. Got a notification. Shout out to you, Mind. Comics on the Mind.
Well, hey, thanks. Oh, this is a person. This is a different person.
No, Mindshift is him. He followed us on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
Comics on the Mind. You are Mindshift, correct? You can tell us in the YouTube. I know it's you, but
You're buying Black Cat? Yeah, I dig it. It's a long, kind of drawn out story. They're peppering it enough to keep your interest. It's not something that you're gonna make money on a spec market, but at the same point, you know, the way I view it is this: it's rare that you can actually buy something, use it, and resell it for even at the same value that you bought it for. It's even rarer more that you can actually make money on it. If you look at what we're doing is we're buying and trading and giving entertainment. The fact that we can sometimes make money on it is a bonus plan, right? So in the case of some of the things I buy, I'm blown away on what the value of some of these things are. And at the same point, I'm grateful that there are people willing enough to buy something that I've already got to consume or how should I say, use as a consumer, and then if nothing else, get my money back so I can then buy more product. It's pretty damn cool if you think about it. So yeah, I'm buying the Ghost Spider, I'm buying Black Cat, I'm buying things that people are not able to turn around and make money on, but they're able to say, hey, it's a cool story and I'm digging it.
this thing is extremely aggressive, and I told you, with this monster, with the way it does all of its backflips, the bigger it is, the bigger the chances you're gonna get hit by just all of its attacks.
Yeah, 80% of the books that we do buy may end up in that bin. However, another way to look at it too is if you want is You can also, hell, I can't believe I'm giving tax advice. You could also, what you can do is what Kai and I ended up doing is we had a drive that's held at a place called, God, what's that name of that place in Pasadena?
Oh my God!
Collector's Paradise. So every year, Collector's Paradise gets together. It has 3 different stores, and they end up doing a comic drive for the veterans. The goal this year, the goal last year, was only to collect 15,000 books. That was exceeded by over 12,000 more books. So we can end up bringing in a good, let's say, 100 to 200 books. All right. I could also bring in a certain amount of other books to a store, and I don't look to get my money as much as I just look to get store credit. They go in their dollar bins. People go, oh, wow, these are cool books. And I get store credit to go, well, you know what? I'll take that one on the wall I couldn't afford, and I'll take those 4 that I've been dying to piece together to fill in those gaps of the storyline that I've been doing.
My Palico, my little cat just
as far as
knocked this thing
donating,
down.
I can write off, as long as I save all those receipts, I can write off that because I work in entertainment. Also, if you do it as education, you can write off of that full amount of money on your taxes. And depending on how much you ship out, the same thing, especially if it's for donations or things like that.
That kind of hurts.
Again, I'm not here to try to be a tax dude, but I'm here to give you options, because I know as consumers, collectors, we start running out of room.
I just wanted to chop off its tail.
So these are options, man. I'm telling you.
Let's read more comics on the mind is saying 80% of our books are gonna end up in the dollar bin. I still like the stories. It's awesome.
Same with like Usagi Yojimbo. To me, that's another
he is
great
buying
example.
Black Cat.
Mm-hmm.
Do you fight more than one monster? Yeah, right now I'm just trying to farm out this monster because it has some of the parts I need to make these really good poison weapons.
Well, can you utilize it actually for your armor too?
Yeah, but right now I'm pretty satisfied with where my armor is at. I just need to...
But you can utilize pieces of the dragon.
Yeah.
Just share them with the community.
Right.
Who's out there with us? We still got 2 bodies out there with us, and we hope that you guys are having a good
throw us
holiday.
throw us a like, if you haven't yet.
Yeah, thumbs up. I know you guys have already subscribed. I know you guys have, and a big thanks to you guys. It's because of you.
He buys stuff for his students. What are some?
Oh, do you really? That's cool.
He says, "What are some grails you are chasing after?"
Oh God. I guess. Wow, that's, you know what? It's such a thick question. I'm sorry that I'm taking so long. I started when I was 7. I have stuff dating all the way back to 65 of mine. I have stuff of my father's dating all the way back to, I think, 59, 58. So I'm at a cross of what to do, because I know that that
huge.
That 65 era, let's say, is going to be big as far as if I'm looking to invest and get grails. So I would say there are like things of that time that I am looking at, and I'm not picking out any characters. I'm just saying time periods. So all the way up to when I started collecting, which was around that 77 era too, I'm looking for. So I've yet to go there because I know the major investment in that. So all that thrown out the window now. I would like to get certain things like, yes, first appearance of like a Ghost Rider, because I know it's in that time period. I was never a big Blade fan, Tomb of Dracula type thing, and I'm not jumping on a bandwagon, but I'm a huge fan of the movie. And being that movies are coming out, it does tap into it a little bit. Something like that would be kind of cool.
What movie?
Blade. Have you seen any of the Blade movies?
Nope.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah.
The first 2 are really good. The third one I like, however, it's very comic reliefish. That's where, what's his name that does Deadpool?
Oh.
He got a big push in that movie. That was where he was kind of looked at, and then he kind of, which is it's him as a character, but then he kind of did that same character in Green Lantern, and then they're like, okay, you're the perfect guy, you know, for this type of movie, but we have nothing else left for you. And that's when he kind of went, hey, you know what? I'm digging the superhero thing. I'm going to go where the money is. Let's do a Marvel movie. I want to do something rated R. Here we go.
And then did Deadpool.
Which is totally him.
So I just swapped from the Great Sword to the Dual Blades, so I should be screwing this thing up some more. I just wanted to chop off its tail.
Now you're high ground too. You can jump on its back. Oh,
well, because I can unleash
now.
this little flurry of slashes right here.
Ow.
And I can move around if I need to. Reposition.
What grails are you looking for? Oh, first Moon Knight. See, I never... Please don't hold it against me. I never read any of the Moon Knight stuff.
Mark says it's his like favorite hero, man.
You know what? And I've heard nothing but good things about the character. I really dig the character. You know, I have some Marvel Spotlight stuff. I have some 2-in-1, 3-in-1. I have... You know... Alright, full disclosure. I've only recently got back into this. Because of my recent interest and then wanting to share that with Kai because of how we kind of developed all this. It's, you know, I'm 1, he's 2, or he's 1, I'm 2. We're Comic Talk that I recently got back into this. So, at an early age, at 7 I was into this. I fell back out of it at an early age, like 9. We really didn't have a whole lot of money, and we were moving. I moved that time. I didn't have the shop near me. I didn't have the money. Didn't get back into it until about 17. Now, I have a younger brother, and he was born almost at a 16-year increment for me. So I started getting into things that were kind of age appropriate for me to talk to him. Yes, he was 1. So I was doing Ninja Turtle stuff, not the hardcore epic-y stuff, but all the adventure stuff. And I mean all the Transformers and all that type of stuff. So he grew up on those cartoons along with me showing him and me reading those things. So it started me getting back into stuff. So that's when Flash came back out in 88, 87. That's when Ghost Rider came back out. That's when I started meeting people and greeting people. And that's what got me in love with the industry as a whole and not just the stories. It made these stories more tangible beyond just trying to imagine the storylines, but seeing the people that and touching, you know, handshake, the people that would actually create these things, and it just kind of made it special for me. So now that...
Damn it, I think I screwed it up.
He's been sharing that same interest. That has only been as of April of this year?
Yeah.
And we only been starting the show, you know, shortly after. So I've only recently got back into this. I dove right back in. So me, I'm just like a massive symbiote guy. I've always been into Spider-Man, but never on runs. I would buy pieces that I like and what I could afford until the late 80s and early 90s that I started picking up all kinds of cool stuff.
Where I broke its head.
So I do have Spider-Man 298, 9, and 299, and 300, and 301, and I do have 27, and 341, 2, 356, through like 380 something. You know, with all that, I have all that symbiote type stuff and all that interweaving, woven of McFarlane coming in and all these rad people. You know, I remember when Dan Slott, when I first met him, I met him at a hotel right here at the airport back when he was doing Ren and Stimpy. and it's stupid me. I think I have some art or something that he did for me, but I didn't even have him sign my book. I don't think. I was more just tripping on who he was and how he was. It was some of the things I have said and done. I would kick the living hell out of me. You want 299 and 300, huh? What I'm waiting for is I'm waiting for McFarlane to come around again and sign it. I met Todd when he first was coming down here to push his books for Image, and some of the signings that he did for some of the Spider-Man stuff. But I was always missing him because of the people that I have known. I knew Danny, Mickey, Dan Fraga, who I still see frequently out and about, but he hasn't put two and two together. He doesn't really remember me.
He said, comments on the mind said, dude, my brother has that book. It was his first series.
Oh, really? Yeah, I'm a massive symbiote guy. I mean, I bought all that recent symbiote stuff. That's why I'm digging. I do not know why people are not freaking out over that. Where did that book go? By the Silver Surfer book, The Annihilation, because he just came back. I don't know why people are not freaking out that he just came back. I am. From the whole Silver Surfer Black thing. Anyone out there reading Dollhouse? I'm digging this thing. This I actually got to read part 2. And if you're not ready for some heavy dialogue and some heavy backstory, you're not going to be digging it. You might get lost. But, man, all this Black Label stuff is killing it. I'm telling you. Basket Full of Heads. I didn't get to read this one yet. Kai made the recommendation I go back to the shop and go ahead and get another copy because he doesn't want to touch this cover. But I said it's okay.
I think I gotta wait for this thing to land. Yes!
I know, it was a heavy pickup for us. We've been picking up books all week. Plus, we also have a nice brick coming in from DCBS.
Hey, guess who just got this thing?
You're loving the Black Series? Yeah. Did you like Superior Spider-Man? The all-time... I was reading pieces of that as I was flipping through some bins the other day, and I was reading pieces, and I was thinking to myself, do I really want to commit? Because I'm one of those guys that if I start a story that I like...
You gotta see it all the way through.
I have to buy everything. I'm not... I can't omit anything. I need to know. And there's times with, like, Kanto, I was so chomping on the bit to have it all that I pre-ordered stuff, and then I even knew that I was going to see David Boer at my local shop to sign all my books, but I still ordered stuff. I get nervous. It's not a FOMO thing. It's that if I'm really enjoying a story, I have to have it. And not only have to have it, but I am willing to pay stupid money to get it because I have to know. But I am actually grateful. My wife is not really into comics because she is worse. She has to know, and I could actually see her going. I know that book is $500 or $600 or $700, but I have to have it. I'm not as bad. Yeah, now you know what? I am the same way. Comics on the Mind with all the tie-ins. When it came to
that was
Carnage,
freaking cool. Oh my
I'm
god!
Hoping he wants to do this, but when it came into that whole Absolute Carnage, I bought every tie-in as far as the Absolute direct line was concerned of Carnage. I bought 3 copies of everything, all the connecting covers, all the tie-ins, 2 of each, all the connecting covers, and then everything that was its prequel or what do they call that?
What?
Some before and after, prologue, epilogue type thing.
Yeah.
You know, all that lead to, even on the new comic book day. Luckily, my local comic book shop here, Comic Book Bug down the street, they had excessive amounts of these things that they were selling for even $1 after for up to months.
Keep check on what he's saying.
So yeah, I got all that before, and I'm already up to hereafter with that whole Silver Surfer Annihilation thing, and Venom Island. Oh, New Mutants, huh? Oh, you have a New Mutants '98? I don't have that, and I was, you know, coincidentally, I was thinking about that this morning, because what I do have is, well, Kai and I end up getting that signed, and we have a screwed up story that we're not going to tell, but we have a success story that I can tell, which is I end up going back to get my X-Force 11 signed by Rob Liefeld, and so that is considered Domino's first true appearance, because the other appearance was actually an imposter. It was what's her face, chick that's blue in the
Domino?
X-Men? No, the chick that's blue and changes.
I have no idea.
I'm spacing out right now, but so I have two signatures on that, which is an X-Force 11. So I don't have the New Mutants '98 for the Deadpool Domino, but I have the true Domino on the X-Force 11, double signed by Mark.
Hey,
Pacella.
Dad, you want to hear some news real quick? Hate to interrupt you, but we are currently on a 52-minute live stream, and our mic has not gone out.
Hey, we still got a microphone that works. Usually by now, something is given out, so we're stoked that things are still working.
Also, while we're off topic, I definitely want to include what I just did to the monster was insane. I had to run back to go get some potions, but what I did was, it was flying. I did my attack that basically goes from its head, and then it does a spinning attack all the way down its body to its tail to where you jump off. And I did that, and when I jumped off, it knocked it down as it was flying midair, so that was kind of insane. Okay, I was right. It is sleeping. Okay, I want to capture it. I don't want to kill it.
So, Z Collects is here. Comics on the Mind, back, better, internet, cool. City Center, I had left City Center. Dude, spent a hell of money on my poll. Yeah, you know.
Everyone's been spending so much on their polls this week is what I've noticed. God damn.
Well, what it is they know that Christmas is coming. So, if you watch any of the channels out there, Carolina Chris, Bueller, God, I mean, everyone that I've been watching, JB, well, even Mike the Spider-Man Slayer, everyone was saying how they had to put books back, and some people were even thinking that, because like me, you know, some people like those variants and they want to get 2 or 3. They had to put some of those variants back and not actually decide not to even get them, because it's just, wow. I know. I was talking to one buddy of mine online. He said he spent over $225 on his week's pull. But now, mind you, he also said that he had stuff that he wasn't able to pull from like 2 weeks before that at another one of his shops. So I said that's kind of not true, because you're accounting all that. But you add all that up, and wow, you know.
Hey, we got 3 people.
But hey, you know what?
Scroll down.
Still Silk. Yeah, you know what? I ended up getting the first on the Silk too, and I actually started reading some of that series, and I was thinking to myself, great, now I'm gonna have to get all this. I'm up to, I think, 4th of that. No, 6th. And the first series of Silk, I think it was, and that's where it went up to.
Yes, I did it. I captured it.
Now, I was talking to a buddy of mine, Jeb, on that Venom Island stuff, and my understanding of Mystique. Thank you very much. Duh! Yeah, he's right. So it was Mystique that was portraying Domino. So that... you guys are keeping us honest. Thank you very much. Yeah, we end up trying to get that book signed the first time around. And the reason why I wanted to is, back in the day is when I ended up buying these books, when they were brand new. So the fact that I ended up going there and he wanted to charge me $80 for a signature, I was flabbergasted. You know, I'm not unwilling to allow an individual, knowing that when there are CGC people present and everyone's thinking that, you know, they're just going to get it slab and you know, and just flip it. It's not what I'm going to do it. And I know that it's hard for me to explain that, but I mean, I would think that he would have recognized me too. I used to kind of hang around with Rob back in the early days a little bit. And I know he was busy and all that, but damn, I was hoping he would take all that in consideration. I do have a plus side, is I was ended up telling him about the story of Aldrin Awe. Buzz's first book that he ended up working on was a Marvel book that Joe Quesada had to bail from because he was working with Jimmy Palmiotti on Ninjak, and he had to bail on that project. And so that was Buzz's first book that he was doing, which was a different book. My point being is I was telling the story to Rob, and while doing so, I was able to finally get that book signed at a lesser price because he was buying my story. So I guess tick for tack. Worked out for both of us. You just picked up Family Tree. I am not reading that. What I've been reading on the indie side is this is one I have not been throwing at Kai. I just think it's just a little above his head. But But my daughter and I, we did a show, and I'm not trying to sing all creepy and stuff like that, but I just seen it was a little more age appropriate, that it was something that she was doing. So I have this, and I also have some of the older books that kind of correlate with what was going on, and even in this book. I don't know if you guys ever heard of the story of Cherry Pop-Tart, but I end up having issue 1, 2, I don't know why I didn't have issue 3, but I believe I had issue 4 and 5. I was shocked to see how much these things are going for. And now that which I figured I end up getting Zombie Tramp number 69 too, of course for just the number in itself. But I was shocked by how very little of these books are actually out there anymore. You know, I thought there would be more of these type of books out there. And I find them entertaining. I don't know if you guys do, per se. Just picked up issue 2. Are you reading Family Tree? That looks so far so good. Oh, no problem. Love the original. All the original Sin stuff is cool. Miles Morales. Yeah, I did end up getting that as a slab, actually, on that. Original Sin was at 4. So that was... Did I end up epping this one out too? Yeah, so that's one store folio emptied. That's 2 store folios emptied. And store folio 3, speaking of Venom Island. Now to get back to that, I didn't forget. My understanding of Venom Island is, I believe... after everything that happened in that Absolute Carnage thing, the Avengers approach Eddie and say, hey, you want to be one of us? And I don't think he's dealing with it well. So my understanding is he basically secludes himself on the Venom Island. Now, I don't know if you're reading Scream, but when Andy tried to commit suicide, a little bit of her blood, symbiote, dripped into the water and is conjuring some problems. So it's my speculation, I can't believe I just used that word, that's what's happening on Venom Island when Eddie secludes himself. Is I'm guessing this island is kind of symbiotically coming alive, and it's not cooperating because I believe we know Noel's coming. We know Noel's coming because he awoke. And you saw him burst out at the end of Absolute Carnage 5. And we also know that he's coming when you end up reading Annihilation Scourge.
Right. Well, you also know that when he woke up, I think how it all happened is Brock woke him up, Surfer was there, and he got the blunt of it. That's what I think happened. That's how I put it together. Is that Brock woke him up, and then after Noel woke up, Surfer got there at like just the wrong time, maybe?
No, because when Surfer and Noel happened was billions of years before Noel right now. Yeah, That was because if you remember you didn't get to read the whole Absolute Carnage thing. They talk about how they had an encounter billions of years before with this demon black god thing.
Oh.
What happened? Oh, I see you.
That's a loading screen.
Okay, everyone's getting loaded, even the screens. Who we have here? We
hit an hour stream.
We got Comics on the Mind still. Thanks for hanging out. We appreciate it. You've been hanging out
for a whole hour. I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, no doubt. Just Rican
Live. Go say hi to him, man.
Well, no, he's
he's gonna do it at 5. Wait, he's gonna do it right now.
So I guess Just Rican is doing a show. And Guardians, right? Comics on the Mind? No, I'm sorry. He went in time and he went in the black hole, right? Yes, he did. What happened is from the Guardians, he was thrown into the black hole, separated from the Guardians, end up in his own area, essentially. We don't know. I don't know what happened to Guardians. I've not been following the Guardians. I only know that that's what was transpiring. He ends up in this gnarly void where that's basically that, let's call it that dark verse of Knowles. And that's where everything transpires in Silver Surfer Black. Silver Surfer Black, great story. I believe a whole new Surfer's Tale is happening. I think it's happening in March. I do know, as we saw in Silver Annihilation, as we see, Silver Surfer's not only back, but he's solidified now that he had to join in Merge. If you haven't read, that's all I'm going to leave right there. It's my
I can't do it.
understanding he an Annihilation Scourge. I think it comes out next week.
Annihilation Scourge?
Something. He makes another appearance.
We already read Surfer Annihilation.
But for Surfer, this whole Annihilation Scourge is like 5 or 6 different books of jumping around different stuff. And my rumor here is that in the whole Thor thing, we're going to end up seeing some Surfer stuff happening in there, I believe. And I believe that's setting up more, because again, it's Cates. Donny Cates stuff. So I believe what that's going to do is in March, we're going to see something explode. It's going to be that same type of thing that they're going to try to create like they did for that late summer. They're going to try to actually launch it in late spring of something similar to the effects of Absolute Carnage. I have a belief it's going to be somewhere along that lines if they're going to try to do it with Thor, Surfer, and maybe even try to tie in Fantastic Four or Hulk, something like that, because we have this crossover between Ewing doing what Cates used to and Cates doing what Ewing did, and you know what I mean, and there has to be something that's going to be growing out of this. Has to be. That they wouldn't be just making these changes and twists just arbitrarily. There's got to be something in the works. Yeah, by going in that black hole is what allowed him to go back in time. Yeah, so yeah, you do know it's Sentry that he ended up merging with. Sentry was a broken individual on this floating rock, and you know the will of Surfer, it's strong. So basically, he just ended up taking this individual and say, look, with my will and with your might, we're going to be able to take care of the Scourge. Which, I've already done the Contagion. This is a Scourge Part 2. I'm willing to get into it if it's a setup for what's to happen for this late spring. But if they're asking me to buy into something that's I've kind of already know or read before, I need to save my money. I'd rather spend it on incentives or something. I don't know. But speaking of which, let's keep moving on with some of the books.
Sentry. Oh, Sentry. Again, make sure you're reading what he said. Said Sentry was in it, right? He read the first scrimmage. Yeah. Scottish.
And Sentry is in this. That's who he merged with. Well, you read it. You know.
Yeah, I know.
So this is one of the I know I showed on other shows, the other show, but emptying this out. End up getting this Miles C. And this is the Venom Island variant. So I was stoked to actually get it. But I ended up picking up at Mega City 1 is the name of this shop. So I ended up picking up this one at one of my local LCSs. And this was at Jeffrey Comics. And then after I went there, I noticed because they didn't have any more variants, and they were out at my other LCS, which is the Comic Bug here in Manhattan Beach. I had made a call to Mega City 1, which is in LA. It's only actually got 3 blocks away from Golden Apple. I said, hey, do you have any? They said, well, yeah, we could pull one for you. I said, really, do you have any variants? And they said, well, you know what? We can pull one for you. I said, oh, cool. So they ended up hooking me up. I was so stoked. And then
so close.
I have the original Doom 29, which is the reason why I ended up buying this one. And I have all the original 2099 stuff. So I'm only buying that which I already have pre-existing from the early 90s. That way I can, when it comes time to either he wants it or sells it, or I decide to sell it. Because originally I started buying a lot of these things, especially in their doubles and triples, with the intent of selling as, part of my retirement. And now that these things are actually starting to show some movement, I'm picking it up. Now, I only end up getting one. I've seen so many, and I have a feeling that they're going to do a liquidation at the beginning of the year, that I may end up getting another one. But like I said, I have 3 of the original ones. I'm ready almost to start rereading it. Because it has been a while.
I'm trying to load up the Safi Jiva Siege here. Hopefully get some real action.
What else did we end up getting? So again, I don't know if anyone out there is reading Scream. I am digging this tale, but I am a massive Symbiote fan. If you're a Symbiote fan, tell me. What symbiotes do you dig? You drop it on the floor?
No.
As far as I know?
No.
But yeah, I'm digging this stuff. Originally when Big Mother was first introduced, she was never introduced as a symbiote. And now, it's almost as if she's like a direct offspring. I wouldn't say mother to the symbiotes, because Null is like symbiote god and everything came from him. But I don't know. She's something significant. I do know that. There you go. Get a little you and me in there. So who's still with us? We got Comics on the Mind that are still with us, and I think that might be it. We appreciate you still hanging out with us. We really do. Pretty soon I'm gonna end up. See, this is that Surfer Annihilation. I had the variant in my hand and I put it down, and I'm really thinking I'm gonna have to go get me another one, because I'm digging this tale. Again, this Surfer's back. How can not people be freaking out about this? He was just dust. He was no matter. There was nothing there. He was a matter baby. You know what that is, right?
No.
A matter baby.
Your objective is to slay the beast.
I don't.
Well, ask.
What's the matter?
Nothing, honey.
I'm gonna close this stream.
Jumping back into the stream. I think I gotta laugh. Anyone else pick up a Captain Marvel 13?
When the energy pool is dried up,
Comics on the Mind, you're just in time about to fight Safi Jiva, which is the new siege monster, and he is crazy fight. I'm gonna be fighting him with the great sword so I can break some parts.
I'm digging these covers, man. And the fact that she's going on a tyrant, just killing everything. It's crazy.
Who is it?
Captain Marvel.
Wait, what? Why?
Well, it's actually you'd have to read it.
Should I?
I don't know. Should you? I haven't technically been reading it all. Well, I'm gonna put one last one up there. I have more in there, but you know, stuff that we already put up. But what I'm gonna get at is Kai and I, and we keep talking about this.
Oh my
Certain things
God.
that we beat into people's heads. The reason why is we want others to enjoy the same things that we do. Not necessarily because we do, but in support of some of the people that we're trying to support. So Jason Young and Derek Hunter have been working on this book, mostly Derek Hunter's baby, has been working on this book for months. This is one of the first things that Kai and I fell in love as a book. It was this and Kanto that got us into...
We started with Kanto, you noticed this, and we both got very excited for it.
And Pretty Violent, which is now on issue 5. I can't believe this. I really don't. But I already have issue 6 on pre-order. I'm dying to even see what the cover of issue 7 is.
Ooh, we got it!
Have you got to read this, right?
Yeah.
We both got to read this. I love this story. This story is so cool. This character is so cool. If you're kind of sick and tired of some of the stereotypical stuff that's out there, but you don't want to abandon some of the stuff that you kind of know, Pretty Violent is definitely a great book because you'll feel familiar, but it'll be enough different and enough freshness that you'll be like, finally, there's something that I can read that changes things up for me. You'll be laughing. You'll find yourself in a place that you'll be asking yourself, is this even okay to laugh at? It's an awesome story, and again, we recommend it. Series is awesome. Well, I mean, well, it depends on your flavor and taste, but how would you rate Pretty Violent?
Out of what?
Well, then you know what? I think it's Comic Core that started this rating system. They use a CGC
Ooh, check that out.
CBCS style rating system, 0 to 10. Now, I'll start. Me, I get Pretty Violent. It's a I think it fluctuates between a 9.4 and a 9.6. This last tale is a solid 9.6. I'd say that the last story before that, issue 4 was a solid 9.6. I'd say issue 3 was a 9.4. Issue 2 was 9.4 and issue 1 was a 9.6. So that's what I mean, it kind of fluctuates.
Comics on the Edge is here.
Hey, thanks for joining us. So as far as Pretty Violent, I recommend it. I would say it's, you know what I never understood is, has anyone ever seen a 9.5? I'm giving Pretty Violent a 9.5. What would you say? As a series, not even just an issue.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
A 9.5? Sure. You're just going to jump to say 9, you're not even going to go anywhere else.
Oh.
Okay, there you have it. What else have we been reading that we're dying? You know what? I don't have my list.
Go get your list. You
Should I
got
go?
time.
Should I go get my list? I have a list of stuff we ordered. I have a list of stuff we read.
We're already running an hour 15 as it is.
Crazy. Well, I mean, if Rod's on, I almost want to jump off and just watch him. But at the same point, I don't want to lose you guys. I'm digging the fact that you're hanging out with us. What else? What else have you been reading? Oh, so for you guys that have just joined us, again, Kai and I, we went to Brave New World, and we got some things signed by who?
By
David
Barron.
Barron. And he did a lot of DC
We talked about
stuff.
this.
Yeah, but some people just jump back on. I want them to see what we got.
Oh, okay.
And then we have this print, also signed by David Barron. And then this book. This is a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 100. And not only did we pick that book up, but Kai, he got a sketch done.
I did. Show him the back.
I can't believe I'm eating popcorn and I'm touching this book. God damn it.
You are a disgrace to Comic Con.
I am. I'm sorry, people. But Kai asked for a Raphael sketch to be done on his Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle 100. Now this, I know I said earlier, but this cover was a cover that wasn't released. That was done by Kevin Eastman and David Barron. So that's why we've been waiting for to buy ours because one, we knew that this was going on, and we end up getting a book that's coming to us from our online order.
We literally are breaking all of its parts. We're gonna get the highest reward level in the Gathering Hub. Oh my god.
So, yeah, it was a good day. We got to go have breakfast, go meet with David, and come back home, hang out with you guys in the community. Kai gets to play his game. I get to talk about comics.
Ooh, I broke the left foreleg.
Yeah, we get to enjoy you guys' company.
I'm just destroying this thing. Dude, Part Breaker 2 is overpowered. Where have I been all my life? I need Part Breaker 3.
Where have you been?
I need to get Part Breaker 3. This isn't enough.
Is anyone else all stoked to read any of this Annihilation stuff? Annihilation Scourge stuff? Or what else are you guys, what are you reading out there as a community? Who's reading what? Where is Brave New World located? Brave New World is located in Santa Clarita Valley of California. I guess the most notable landmark of that area is Magic Mountain. Some people call it, what is that, Great America? But we have a Magic Mountain that's here. It's a gigantic amusement park that's only a couple miles away, and right next to it is a shopping mall in Santa Clarita. And we have to drive, I think it's 59 miles.
Jesus.
We drive 59 miles to go there. We're not afraid to travel to meet and greet creators, artists.
We think it's worth it.
Not only that, we love plugging these places. We really like Andy, owner of Brave New World.
He is the last owner.
You the man. He is he's an individual that's taken over that store a few times, and like my son had mentioned, he is the last owner of that shop, and he's a great guy. He always has events going on. He made mention to me to tell the community out there that he has more events planned at the beginning of the year. Kai and I have already done 2 this month alone. What is this, the 21st?
Today is the 21st, yeah.
We did that in 2 weeks, you know, so he's always keeping the place busy. You're reading the Spider-Man 29 stuff. I got the book, I've yet to read it. Kai and I have both been really busy the past couple weeks, so what you're seeing is a culmination and accumulation of stuff that we both got to semi-read. There's a couple things up there, and not read. Majority of what there is, we have not got to read, unfortunately. Some of the things that we have read, we made mention was pretty violent. I got to read the Spider-Man J.J. Abrams thing. Man, I love that story. I don't know why people are not freaking about that. I'm digging the story. I'm digging the art. The art is great. I've never heard of this person before, as far as
J.J. Abrams?
No, that's the writer for, you know, that's doing these storylines. But this this artist that's doing it.
No,
I'm not really familiar. I think it's a female, and I'm not really familiar with.
Oh my god, I lived.
Sarah Pichelli. I'm not really familiar with the work that much. But I'm digging it. It's great work. Really tells the story well. like a 4-mile drive for you. Because of where we live in a place called Lawndale. We're located between areas that are more, how should I say, known. So to the left of us is Manhattan Beach, which would be west. North of us would be considered Bodger Park or Hawthorne. We have Gardena, and then we have Torrance. The reason why I'm giving you all these areas is we could walk a half mile and hit one location called Jeffries. Coincidentally, some famous people, such as like Danny Mickey, has worked out of that shop, and many people, meaning Joe Quesada, Jimmy Palmiotti, basically almost half of Image and pieces of Marvel and Valiant.
Ooh, I get to do the loop.
Either new people over there or because of Danny would frequent that place, you know, so deviated, sorry. We could travel about 2 miles west and we hit Comic Bug. We can travel 3 miles south and we hit Cult Comics. I can go towards work and I can hit probably a half a dozen shops in a 15-mile distance. And that's almost just a straight shot. So we're very fortunate. That being said, every place, because of that,
No way, we got it to go to the last level.
there's a lot of people.
We are working on this thing.
When I went to Golden Apple and went to go pick up last week's books, I walked into that shop. That place is so packed because it's right in the heart of LA. I walked out within 3 minutes knowing that I wasn't getting anything. Everyone was walking out with stacks like this, spending a good $100 on all their pulls. Everything that I was looking for was already yanked. You know, I was not even about to go toe to elbows with people over some books. So luckily, I was already down the street at a place called Mega City One, which again is not that far from my work. I was able to, and it's the earliest shop that I know of. How many? I'm asking you people out there in the community, and I'm hoping as many people hear this as possible. How many shops open at 8 a.m. on a Wednesday? Seriously, this shop opens at 8 a.m. and there's no one there. I walk in there at Mega City One in LA. I walk in there and I have that place to myself for the first 15 to 20 minutes. I don't have to sit there and rush. I can sit there and actually flip through a couple books, look to see if I see any spine ticks. I can get through. There are times where they don't even have an opportunity to pull the books out of the boxes, and I can get to go through the boxes and set them up the way I want. And they're virgins, man. I dig it.
We are literally just wailing on this thing, man.
That's a 4-mile drive for me. I don't mind driving places that I gotta be worth my while.
Do you see how many
Jeffrey
people
Comics in Gardena. Comic Bug right here in Manhattan Beach. Like I said, Comic Cult. They usually don't get too many people, and especially if you call them up. Jeffries and Comic Cult.
I think you and me got to go there one time.
They were a few times, yeah. They will pull their stuff because they don't get that much business, and they're located in these weird places that they will value you. If you go over to the Mega City One, you know, this is a place that if you get on their homeboy list, you get a discount that rivals most online places. I get $3.99 books for $2.39. I get $4.99 books for $3.79 to $3.99 depending on the how popular they are.
Damn it!
I'll get one because the shop doesn't get a whole lot. I'll get 1 in 10 variants. If they're moving hot and they're going for as much as double, they'll give it to me for still at 10, maybe as much as $15. The place is awesome. So what I'm getting at is, one, definitely hit up your LCS. Two, we don't mind to go to these places because by plugging them, by them seeing us, by us giving, we give out free stuff. We just got through giving another shirt away to David Barron. If anyone says, and again, I'm telling you people out there in the community, if you see us, you identify us, you say 1-2 Comic Talk, we carry around a bag of shirts. We'll give you a free shirt. All we ask is please sub us. If you can give us a like or throw a comment, All right, more the better. We appreciate it. But that's what we do. We like to talk with creators, artists, meet with people,
See what they're
owners
saying.
of
See what they're
shops.
saying. Make sure you stay on what they're saying.
Yeah, I'm with them. And yeah, that's what we do. Yeah, Six Flags, reading Spider-Man 29. You know, and as far as the Spider-Man 29, I have the original first 3 of that. I have 3 of the number 1s. I have a number 2, and I have a number 3. I just got through looking through that stuff. Yeah, I need to get, because I'm getting older and these books are getting older. I was just telling this to Kai. I'm actually thinking about getting a press, you know, and I need to clean these things. I need to press these things. I have books of my dad's that they were kept in the garage. I asked for these books back in 1977. My grandmother thought that she had thrown them away. My grandfather had put them up in a garage. There they sat until my grandmother's death of a few years ago, and I ended up bringing these books out of the garage, realizing the look that my grandfather had gave me back in 1977 was saying that he had stashed them, but I never realized it until recently.
Really?
Oh, so you press your books?
I'm doing the most damage to this thing. It is trying to screw me up, man.
Yeah, you know, it looks like it's just another, how should I say, an extension of the hobby. And I'm not saying it makes you any better or worse, but it allows you, I guess, to appreciate your stuff into a different level that many people don't. And again, we all value and appreciate our books different, you know, and sometimes the same person will value them different. I do slab a book, you know.
That was nasty.
There are times when I will throw it only in a top loader, and I believe that's as far as it needs to go. So we're all fickle, but I believe I've gotten to the point that if I can learn how to do this, I can better preserve things that I want to do, which is getting back to what I was talking about my father. I found all these books and they were severely dehydrated. So I was watching a show that showed how to hydrate, prep, and clean for proper pressing. And it got me interested, that I was thinking, you know, I want to learn how to do this. This seems cool. And what better way to actually preserve some of the ideas and thoughts that my father was going through. Not necessarily monetary or tangible things, but these were ideas that were going through his head even before my brother was born. So it was a way to figure out what was going on in my dad's head, even better than even asking him, by reading a book that had his interest when he was his age. I think that's pretty damn cool. So that's why I would like to learn how to rehydrate these things, clean them up, press them. Not because I'm looking to necessarily slab these things, but you know, what better way to preserve something that my dad had and a mindset of my dad was at.
Oh my god, we are literally just screwing this thing left and right. It should be dead. I mean, I'd be surprised if we got it killed on our first go, but if we did, oh my god.
So community, yeah, we appreciate you being here. Comics on the Edge, Comics on the Mind. Wow, we got a mind on the edge. You guys are awesome. Yeah, we
chilling out here with us.
Yeah, you know, this is what we do. We just kind of hang out on the couch. I'm usually either reading a book or I think we're almost ready for coffee. What do you think?
Really? Oh, well, yeah, you drink coffee at night.
Are we thinking dinner?
Maybe. Oh my god, someone mounted? Knock it down, knock it down.
Oh, you got help. Oh, that's right, you hooked up on the interweb.
Yeah, all 4 of us are attacking this thing, and we're about to kill it without, like, anyone's help.
Are you playing with Mark?
Oh my god, I broke its chest! And we severed its tail! Oh, I broke my... No, it escaped! Do you know how hard it is to break its tail?
It looked like he did some pretty nasty damage. It can't fly away.
Yeah, it can. We broke both of its wings, broke both of its...
And it's still flying away?
Yeah, we broke both of its wings, both of its forelegs, both of its hind legs. We broke its head once, we severed its tail, and I was basically the person who broke the chest all on my own. Oh my god, how high is that reward level? Level 8? It should all... oh. We are literally destroying that thing. I'm getting into great sorting. Great sorting is fun. Great sorting is just ridiculous.
So at some point, I'm going to have to read that Joker Smiles, too.
Do it now. You don't have a choice.
Well, I told you.
No?
What I want to do is I want to be able to read both books back to back.
Well, wow.
You guys reading that Joker?
Killer Smile? Any of you?
Because you know, I skimmed the first one and I got the whole gist of it. I have to say that I was kind of cheating on some of it. You know what I'm really looking forward to is that Philadelphia. I've been thinking about that almost every day. I really like that story. And I actually did get to go all the way up to March, and I got to see, what was that, issue 5? Wow. It just, wow. And, rumor is, it's being optioned.
You want to know what the sad part about us cutting the tail off is? It's so extremely hard to do it, but the fun thing about cutting off a tail of a monster is you can carve it. Now, when you kill a monster, you can carve it to gain its materials. Like, you literally stab in and you rip out, like, pieces.
Well, again, for your armor.
Right, for all of
potions.
that. But you can also do that with the tail if you cut it off. We cut off the tail right as it was leaving. I broke the chest, and then another guy broke the tail almost simultaneously. And so there were three things going through the game's mind. First, it wants to make the monster flinch back because I broke its chest. Then it wants to make the monster tumble because its tail was cut off. And then it wants the monster to leave. And it overrided all of that by just making it say, oh, mission's over, it's running away. The siege is only 20 minutes, but it feels like an hour.
You know what I'm digging? Processing is working fine. The volume is working great. Community can still hear us. They're still there. Everything's working better than it's ever worked before.
It's like a 4-mile drive for me. Oh, so we can see Comics on the Edge. He's close.
Yeah, so I guess Comics on the Edge, that you're telling us...
Oh, no, he's talking about Jeffries.
Well, I mean, again, he's telling us that he's not that far from us.
Yeah.
We recommend that... Well, I recommend...
If you see us, you know what to do.
Not only that, but you can find us on Facebook. I'm always posting... I'm the old one.
I'm the new one.
So I end up taking care of all the Facebook and all the YouTube stuff as far as trying to post, communicating back to you guys. When it comes to all the young stuff, the Instagram, you gotta throw us a Twitter account. You gotta hook us up.
Twitter.
You know, whatever's. You know, when it comes to all that type of stuff, that's him. So
I'll take Booster.
I recommend that you go to the Facebook, find us there, because I'm not able to put on Instagram all the events that we end up attending and all the events that even not attending, just have interest in things that are happening. Now, we will cover a base basically from, I don't know, I will actually look as much as basically around a 100-mile radius. You know, obviously there's no comic shops out in the ocean that I know of. So we're only 3.5, 4 miles away from the ocean. But anywhere north, east, or south, in a 100-mile distance, we're not really afraid to go to. So if you're ever around here, or if we have, you know, you got an idea of who we are, look us up. We'll throw a shirt at you. And if not, and if so, maybe we'll still do the ice cream thing. We're big fans of rolled ice cream. So if you've never had rolled ice cream,
We'll get that for you.
you've never lived.
Never lived.
Monrovia.
So we basically broke every part of this monster but its head the last time, so everybody
Comic
is just trying
Fiend.
to...
I've never heard of Comic Fiend. He says he's in the Monrovia area. So we've been out there.
Ooh, we knocked it
I
down.
can't remember who, but we've done some Pasadena stuff, and we end up start going out there too. But we like traveling to meet the people that we do. I'm not afraid to do so. There's presently, if I look at my list, by the way,
What?
I spreadsheet all my comics.
Yeah, we probably won't. Oh.
So I'm able to see what I have at any given moment.
I think I'm about to kill myself. Ooh, someone saved me from doing so.
I have.
And he comes crashing down.
Oh wow, it's not showing my numbers. It just shows me the titles, but it doesn't show me numbers. If I recall, I have, let's say 1,200 titles, 1,250 titles. Let's say 1,200, low ball. By the way, I have a 2099 unlimited too. Huh. The reason why I bring that up is I may only have that many titles, and let's say I average 2 books per title. Of those, a good 400 books that we own are signed by some artist, creator, or someone. So a big thing for us is we like to buy books both that we enjoy. Reading content is a big thing. Then we appreciate obviously the storylines, and then we love meet and greet these people to bring the tangibility and beyond what the story or beyond the art. You know, we like to meet these people, and it tends to just enhance the whole experience of what we're doing as far as just reading a book. So the reason why I bring that up is, yeah, our big thing is we're not afraid to go travel to go meet these people and get these books signed, and sometimes, you know, we end up buying books purely on the fact that we're just trying to support someone. You know, we have no idea who these people are, and we just buy the books. You know, Mia Bunn is a great example. Mia, if you're watching, still love your
Who?
book. Waiting for part 2 to come out.
Oh, who?
Khalees and I are waiting for number 2 of The Fuck.
Oh.
Because we love that book, and we know that you're a local around here. He's purposely not read it. I'd rather not. I'm gonna wait, and I'm gonna gauge it and see where you go, depending on if I end up throwing that at him. That's another one of those adult content things that Khalees and I have done. But yeah, we will frequently go to places to find individuals that we want to help out. Christy Shin is another example. God, even Frank Gogol, you know, when he first started, he was just a local guy, you know, buying books, trying to get his book going on, and who would ever realize that Dead End Kids would be what it is today? Or even David Pepos, you know, trying to do, what's we call it, Locke? Kill him.
Oh, Spencer and Locke.
Spencer and Locke, and then, you know, Going to the Chapel turns out to be this book that,
This banger, yeah.
yeah, that thing's awesome. I mean, I don't know if anyone out there has read Going to the Chapel, but it's
It's pretty big. I wouldn't be surprised.
It's awesome. Surprisingly enough, it's been slightly under ordered by certain places. It's not got the right media exposure, so there's not enough individuals that know about it.
Ooh! Let's get this thing.
Okay, so Comic Book Fiend is a club on Instagram.
Okay.
So we gotta try to jump on there. We gotta see how that works out. Help me out. Help your old man out of his Instagram here. We'll pull up Comic Book Fiend. Oh, there's Rodney.
I'm picking up my old greatsword habits.
So Rodney Barnes, he's the writer for
what he was
Philadelphia. He's at another signing. The reason why he's there alone, which I
Ooh.
believe he is in that near Philadelphia area, is because Mr. Jason Sean Alexander and his wife had just had a recent addition to their family. What's this called? Comic Book Fiend, right? Comic Fiend Club. Comic Fiend Club. Let's get rid of that. Get rid of that. Comic Fiend Club. Oh, what the heck and schmeckin'. We're looking for it there.
I'm gonna have to guard. And it went through. Oh, someone had feline safeguard. Yes.
Comic Fiends.
That might be him. Maybe it is Comic Fiend. Are you Comic Fiends? Check. See if that's him. See if he says it's him.
This account is comicfiends.com. Is that who is comicfiends.com?
Check.
At Comic Book Fiend Club. At Comic Book Fiend Club. Comic Book Fiend Club. Comic Book Fiend Club. Here it is. You guys got the Batman little logo thing, right? Holy Nikes, man! You got some followers.
Ooh, we got someone popular with us.
Oh, okay. So you guys are followed by Golden Apple and all that. All right. Oh, by the way, we just hit the follow. Yeah, it looks like you've been picking up Philadelphia stuff too. What I missed out on is I didn't get that new comic book day one. I was holding it in my hand, and I put it down. And I'm just still I'm still kicking myself because I was not thinking. I was not thinking at all.
Ooh.
We got 8 thumbs up, and we still got 3 people watching, and we appreciate you people.
We are almost going on 2 hours now.
Are we really?
Yeah, 1 hour 42 minutes right now.
Well, look at us.
This is just a gaming stream.
Almost.
Almost. Gaming and comics. You talk, I game.
Oh, okay, so they do the comic shows, conventions, and charities too. So, good, you know, because we...
Of oh, nice.
You know, the Collector's Paradise that's in that Pasadena area, they always do the Veterans Drive. I think there's a tie-in with the food drive in that too. And then, yeah, that's just awesome. You know what I'd like to start doing is, Kai and I, we went to Jeffrey Comics the day of Halloween. And what we end up asking is, hey, look, we know that the free comic book weekend thing of Halloween happened. However, do you have any leftover books? And they said, well, yeah, we have a bunch. Why? I said, well, it's not necessarily for us, quote unquote. What we'd like to do is we like to hand them out for Halloween. So what I like to start doing is I like to almost like get together a group, call us whatever, you know, the comic giveaway or whatever it is. And then the idea behind the group is whenever that they have the excess amounts of these free comic book day come, to try to find the immediate holiday to give them out to kids, and or to have like a hospital drive or something like that, so that these places are not holding on to all these books that they don't want to hold on to them, and they're not necessarily quote unquote dollar bin books because they were free. So I would love to try to do something like that. You know, if nothing else, just to create another interest into the comic community from another source in which that we don't get.
We want to spread it as much as possible.
Absolutely. That is what's going to keep us growing, is not only a community, but keep the comics flowing. Got to keep this medium going.
I think we almost got this thing down on our second run.
It looks like he did some pretty good damage.
Well,
Is that its guts pouring out of it?
no. So the thing about
Who's got lasers?
well, yeah. So this is the mature form of a monster you fight in the base game. And the crazy thing about this is it's lived here for so long that it's matured so much that its dead skin and molted skin is strewn about all 3 levels. And it has stored, see what it's doing? It has stored so much energy in 3 levels of this, like, secluded area. That's what they call the secluded, secluded something.
So you have a few people with you now.
4. And the main goal is that you want a full lobby of 16 players all on their own 4 missions with 4 people. So it's 1 mission, 4 people, and you can max out at 16 players in a lobby. So you... Oh, they're sleeping it, they're sleeping it, they're sleeping it. So what I want to do right now is sharpen and then drink my demon drug. And so it stored so much energy in all 3 levels that as you hurt it, it heals itself. And it'll deplete the energy on all the levels, and you want to keep narrowing it down until this final level where it draws out all the energy and you kill it. You basically barge in on it, say, "Hey man, we know you could totally destroy everything, so we gotta put you down." No way, they're hitting you with all the status effects now. They just slept it, they bombed it, and then they instantly paralyzed it as it woke up.
Well, I was wondering, why couldn't it move?
It was paralyzed. Someone paralyzed it.
So hey, if the community want to find and play with you on this, what do they look for, Kai?
Add me at my PSN. It'll be... It's hard to put, but if any of you want it, tell me, and then I'll give it to you.
Okay.
Ooh, wait. No, stay there. Turn this way.
So community out there, when you buy your books, and you bag them, you store them. For instance, what is your preference of a modern day book? What do you store your bags in? 1, what bags do you use? 2, what boards do you use? Do you tuck your bags in? Do you tape them? How do you tape them? And from there, where do you place them? Standard box? A bin? High? Low? I mean, what how do you guys do this?
Ooh, it's sucking up more energy. So yeah, you basically want to keep this to drain energy until it's all out. See? She just said the energy pod's almost exhausted. But yeah, it's been here so long, it's just been buffing itself.
Now, anyone
up.
else that dies affects the whole group, though, right?
You can only die 3 times, and it counts for everybody.
That's what I thought.
So there's only, it's basically like group deaths. So there's only 3 group deaths, and then you fail the mission. But everybody here, including me, is doing a very, very, very nice job, which is hard to get, especially when you play with randoms. But these guys are actually doing a very nice job, so none of us are dying. It's just a matter of getting in all of our damage before it runs away. So we're all just trying to be just play it the best we can. Right now it's focused on me, we just blew it up. Okay, now I get to go for his chest. I just did 1,000 damage? I literally made it drain energy to heal itself with my 1 attack. Are you serious? Oop, the energy's completely drained. That's what I want to see. This is not what I want to see. I just died. That is not PogChamp! Oh, and another dude just died.
Alright, so hey, community, we're going to bail off now only because we've been on for a while. We're noticing that Coast to Coast is happening right now. We're going to go sit in with them. Join us over on Coast to Coast. We're hanging out. We're going to be hanging out with Perry. It looks like Rican's there. Jeffrey's there. Dylan's there.
Oh, it's an open invite. We can get in.
I mean, everyone's there. So, hey, meet us on over there at Coast to Coast. We'll be talking to you soon. Thank you for hanging out with us. We love you much. From us at 1-2 Comic Talk. Thank you much. You guys take care of yourself, all right?
No. Don't do that. You want to hit